Well, I want you to share your story because I find your story fascinating. And the reason why it's fascinating, a lot of
Mhm.
people, Kurt, feel like they can't do it and they give up before they even walk out the
Yeah.
door. So do you mind just sharing your story? I think your story is fabulous on how you
Oh,
lost,
sure.
you lost 100, how many pounds?
No, so I lost 40 pounds of fat and I gained the 30 pounds of muscle. And I was
Wow.
getting myself checked, thanks, on the DEXA scan machine, which is the second most accurate way to get your body fat tested.
Yeah.
So I was doing it pretty regularly in addition to looking at the scale. So I thought that was pretty effective because, and it also measured your visceral fat, the really bad fat and things of that nature. So, but the key thing for me was similar to yourself is that I hired a coach.
Yeah.
I'd done all this work on my own and I would have been heading down the path of that lady you mentioned who was training forever, stepping on stage and not winning,
Yeah.
because you don't know what you don't know. And
Yeah.
some of the things you do know are just not true.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and you need somebody to just educate you, to push you sometimes, to
Yes.
tweak you. But ignorance, I think we touched on this. The two things that were holding me back is ignorance and arrogance.
Yeah.
Ignorance is obvious. Arrogance thinking, oh, I'm smart. I'll figure it out on my own. I think you had another word for it. You call it pride, one of the
Yeah.
seven
Pride.
deadly sins.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So I think you mentioned you've seen that hold back a lot of people. They don't want to do what you yourself did. Like you said, you were never fat, but you
Yeah.
still got a coach. I was clearly fat.
Yeah.
So, I got a coach. But why do you think so many people refuse to get coaching? I mean, the great example you gave is this lady that's been going on stage for almost 2 decades,
Yeah.
or over 2 decades actually,
Yeah.
and she sees all her peers around her. I'm sure 99% of the people
Yeah.
around her are being coached. She
Yeah.
sees these coaches. The coaches look fabulous themselves,
Yeah.
whether they're men or what have you. So,
Right.
what psychologically do you think holds people back from just hiring a coach?
Well, I strongly believe that they don't really know the value of a coach, number one.
Mm,
Number
okay.
two, they don't even know the value of themselves, that you're
Okay.
making an investment in your health, in your
Mm-hmm.
future. Because see, going on stage is more, Kurt, is more than just weight loss, it's more than just building muscle. It's
Mm-hmm.
also a spiritual journey as well. Because
Okay.
in my case, between my coach and God, every day I had to ask God, dear God, help me to do this because discipline. Most people
Mm-hmm.
don't want discipline and accountability. So,
Yes.
I was accountable to my coach. My coach would look at me, especially like a week before we go on stage. It's like, Carolyn, what did you do? What are you doing? What are you drinking?
Yes.
I could tell. Did you have a glass of wine? No, coach, I didn't have a glass of wine. You're holding water. So, do you know what I'm saying? Because he knew
Yes.
that I needed to, dehydrate or yeah,
Mm-hmm.
dehydrate to like 24 hours before you go on stage, so your
Right.
striations could pop.
Mm-hmm.
But I was retaining water. Why? Because I
Okay.
had one potato chip, just one, and I wasn't supposed to have it. So, but
Yes.
he was able to let me know that you're doing damage to yourself with just that
Mm-hmm.
one. A coach could do that because they were spot on it. And then
Yeah.
with my relationship with God, it just made me pray because I was going on stage for a reason. I wasn't going on for vanity. I was going
Mm-hmm.
on because of my caregiving, the background as a caregiver. Caregivers are really lack a lot of self-care because they're so busy
Okay.
taking care of others. So I
Yes.
wanted to be that person to let them know, yes, you can do this. Yes, you can take care of yourself. During the pandemic, I never put on 1 pound, but one of my friends put on 50 pounds
Oh,
because
wow.
she did not want to hire a coach when the pandemic was over. And
Mm-hmm.
these are true stories in California. So here
Yeah.
she is. She's 50 pounds heavier. She's
Mm-hmm.
depressed. I said, get yourself a coach. Get yourself. Well, Carolyn, I got to lose weight before I get a coach. What do you mean you got to lose weight before you get a coach? Come on. I hear these are real stories.
Yeah.
So,
Wow.
I let people know it's a journey, but a coach is your partner.